Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the final word. We are live on Patreon. So if you want to get your comments into us regarding the draw with Southampton at Goodison Park,
then do it.
Please do. Please feel free to do it.
Live at 11:55.
We are.
Incredible.
We are if you're on Patreon, yeah. A point is probably a good result in the end of that game last night, because it wasn't the best performance in the world.
No, that was the big positive to take out of it, was that we didn't lose the game. Really poor performance. There's no getting away from it.
Yeah.
You know, you can make excuses, or you can say, oh, the players, you know, they're not fit, or whatever you want to say. We've had lockdown, and it was another poor performance. And let's be honest, we haven't, apart from 25 minutes, half an hour maybe, against Leicester, and 20 minutes at Norwich in the second half, we haven't played well in any of the games. We had a game plan that worked against Liverpool. We nearly nicked it. But in terms of playing well, we didn't. You couldn't say we played well. Tottenham, we were dreadful. You know, like you say, an hour against Leicester, we were hanging on a bit. And last night just felt very similar. It was just another underwhelming display.
Yeah, I think every performance so far, maybe apart from the derby, which was like an ultra plan. Every performance has sort of just been two sides of the same coin. You know, we play a certain way, and in some games it's benefited more than others, and I think yesterday's game was somewhere in the middle, because we were absolutely dreadful first half, and I think, you know, Carlo Ancelotti said himself, no control whatsoever on the game. And I think some second half, I think we wrestled a little bit of control back. And that's basically the story of what we've had so far on the coming back, is that we're not getting hold of these games. We know why. We know why we're not getting hold of these games. We're getting, you know, our midfield, we keep on saying, and our midfield is simply not good enough. You know, we've worried about it all year. I think now, without the crowd, without the rhythm of being within a season, we're really seeing that. I think when you're in a season, and you know, you've got that crowd, and you've got different things going on, and the continuation of the season, and players being in and out and injured and all the rest of it. I think because it was like a pure reset, and we have come back, and the football still feels very much like pre-season football, maybe a little bit more upper level. You can see all the little issues. I think all the little issues, and I think, you know, Carlo, I think, you know, he looks frustrated by it, but he's getting a true sense of how big the job is, or how big, you know, how good the players are, and they're clearly not good enough. And I've said it before, I think that gives you a clear indication of what we need to do, where we need to strengthen. There's no surprises now. I think as fans, we watch the game, and we know before the game there aren't going to be any surprises, you know, in the midfield, across the midfield. Maybe Anthony Gordon might be the only difference there, but you're just counting down the games now till the end of the season, because in some of the games we can win. You know, we've got 4 games left, and we could potentially win all of them. We could potentially lose all of them. But I think we all know that nothing's going to really change. Nothing's going to surprise us, and we're all just crossing our fingers and toes that we can bring in, you know, a couple of really talented midfielders at least, just to change things up a little bit.
Yeah, there's nothing in there. Everything's the same. No matter, you change the personnel in that midfield, and let's be honest, there's only really 3 different players who play in the middle of the park. That's Sigurdsson, Davis and Gomez. You know, no one, Danny Beningame hasn't had a minute. So that'll bring its own questions. Maybe he just isn't good enough. Fine, you know, Carlo Ancelotti's got to make that call, but, you know, Davis just hasn't got any form whatsoever. Is he good enough? The jury's well out. A lot of people don't think he is. He's not. All I'd say here is he's not doing himself any favours whatsoever.
Let me just be the representative for the jury. He's not good enough.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
He's not good enough. He will need time away from this football club to be good enough.
Yeah, at the moment
he's not good enough.
Not good enough, no.
And there's no point beating about the bush about it anymore. We're seeing it in front of our eyes, is that at this moment he's not good enough. Can he get better? Yes. He needs 25 games continuously, going through the highs and lows of playing football, somewhere where maybe there's no emotional attachment, where there's no pressure, where it's a fresh, clean slate, and then maybe he can come back to the club and maybe we'll see a slightly different player. Yeah. I don't know, but he isn't good enough.
No.
Gylfi Sigurdsson isn't good enough. Andre Gomez isn't good enough right now. There needs to be some kind of stimulus in that midfield. There needs to be somebody who comes in and says, see this is the bar, right? Because at the moment the bar is those three players going round in circles.
Yeah.
Delph coming back doesn't really add anything to that.
No.
And that's the problem. Last season when you had someone like Garner set the bar so high that other people had to get somewhere close. And if they did get close to it, then that meant we would have a good midfield. Yeah. And that's why he went.
I mean, that's the biggest thing for Gomez. That's why Gomez isn't the player he was at Valencia for whatever reason. At Valencia, he was a cracking midfield player, travel with the ball. At the moment, whether he's fit, whether it's in his head, I don't know. He's not the same player, certainly, as he was last season. But he's also not the same player as he was last season because he hasn't got Garner next to him. Garner put out lots of fires, did other things. And that's where the key area is. It's been laid bare to us. You know, last season at times, we had enough in midfield and not enough up front because the way Silva played, we just had one striker who was isolated most of the time. You know, Richarlison was on one side and whoever else was on the other, but we were like a 4-5-1. This season, he did the same. It's a worse effect, but we didn't have Garner. And then obviously Duncan and Carlo Ancelotti have thrown two up front, and that's got us goals, and the two up front are doing well. But the two lads, our wide players aren't playing well. And in fact, all the way across, you can't make a case for anybody bar Anthony Gordon at the moment for anyone contributing anything from midfield. Iwobi had a good half at Norwich, or a good half an hour at Norwich. He was okay against Leicester for a little bit and then tailed off. That's it. And that isn't good enough. No. It's not good enough.
You know, Southampton, I think we all knew what, and I think we were all rightly a little bit worried about Southampton and what they were going to bring. Confident coming off the back of the City game, and they started the game so well. And they got control of the game. And it's to be honest, we've seen this and we've spoke about it. And there are, you know, what they've done is they're very much like, and they've done it really quick, and that's fair play to them. They're a bit like Wolves, and they're a bit like Leicester, in a team that everyone seems to know the job, without having amazing players. Okay, there's sprinkling of good players, don't get me wrong, and they've all, you name those three teams, you go, well, one's got Vardy, one's got Ings, and one's got Jimenez or Traore. You know, they've got a player who can change a game, like we have in Richarlison. But what they're doing is, what they've got is they've become cohesive units. Yeah. And that's where we fall down. We are nowhere near a cohesive unit where the manager is getting everything out of all those players. And you look at that Southampton midfield last night, and there's nothing in it. There's nothing in it but energy and everyone knowing the jobs. And there was little things in the game. There was one in the... Was it the first half or the second? I think it was the second half. It was the one where... Because we were watching it, so it was. It was the one where Ward-Prowse went in and he had his foot raised and the studs and he won the ball. But it was little things like that to me that made the difference. Seeing Ward-Prowse charging around the pitch, just getting niggly little fouls in and just breaking up the play and doing like a proper midfielder. Yeah, like we were watching like Tom Davis and Gylfi Sigurdsson, not even getting near the player. Like by the time they got there, the ball had already gone. And I think that's one of the major problems for me is that our players don't look like they've got in midfield like a competitive edge. Like they can, like there's no
can't mix it. Can
they don't mix. They don't tackle. They don't leave one on somebody. You know, they don't. You know, Richarlison was the only one yesterday who took it upon himself because he was getting kicked all around the pitch. So he just thought in the end, he thought, I'm doing one of yous. Second half yesterday, we should have took it in turns to kick Ward-Prowse after what he'd done to Richarlison. That's the kind of mentality and team spirit.
That's what Spurs did to
Richarlison. But that's like saying to someone, I know what you've done, so we're going to get you back one by one. And we don't have that. We don't have that kind of nous in our team. We're too nice. Been saying this all season. Been saying this for ages. Been saying it since they all give Son a pat on the back for breaking the ankle of one of our players. Been saying it for ages, and it comes out. It comes out in the game though as well. It's not just a case of like getting angry and getting annoyed when someone does something bad to your team. It's the actual act of playing football as well. Getting in someone's face and going.
No, we couldn't break the game up. They started there. They had a goal disallowed, which rightly so, he was offside, but even that should have been the warning sign. You know, we could have been what we got away with that. We then had the penalty. Well, it wasn't a penalty. It was never a penalty. And you could see it at the time. And Lee Mason's a cheat, I'll say it. I've said it. Every time we have him, he's a disgrace. Every time. It wasn't a penalty. The lad dived into Gomez. VAR, pathetic. Absolutely pathetic, the pair of them. Do you know that it was the lad who gave the penalty at Brighton? Well, Lee Mason gave the penalty at Brighton, and the VAR fella last night was the referee. And then the same this time.
It's all con. And what I would say about the VAR is, and I know people don't like VAR, or we've said it all season, we're in favour of VAR, we're just not in favour of referees.
No.
Because they're the same referees.
Shouldn't be allowed.
There's 3 penalty decisions yesterday. 1 in each game. 2 pens, which weren't, and 1 that wasn't given, which should have been a pen for the Harry Kane. And
that was a pen,
yeah. And
Anthony Gordon's was a penalty. Yeah. It can only be a 50-50 if the ball, you can only shoulder barge someone. If the ball, but also if the ball is central to the 2 players because you're competing. Anthony Gordon had the ball away from the defender. The defender couldn't get near the ball. So if you knock into someone, it's a penalty because you've got no chance of getting the ball. But back to them. He gave the penalty. Luckily, they missed it. Then Pickford made a brilliant save from Danny Ings' header and got lucky as well, but it was a really good reaction save. And that should have been a wake-up. At that moment then, like an Everton team at the past, say, someone would have gone and rattled someone. And all right, the crowd, it's different because the crowd aren't. Can you imagine what Goodison would have been like?
You're breaking the game up, aren't you, even by doing that? I've said it, and I said it on the final word after the Spurs game. There's such a lack of intelligence in this team. It's football intelligence.
Sunday League lads are
football
miles cleverer than that.
You can't get hold of the game. So what do you do? You can't get control of the game. So what do? You go and get hold of the game. You try and break it up.
You knock them out the rhythm. What he's done, Hasselhoff there, has had an incredible turnaround. They got beaten 9-0 at home. That would have finished any Premier League manager normally. At a lot of clubs, he'd have been sacked because it's 9-0 at home is a disgrace. And, you know, he somehow, you know, don't forget, it wasn't like they lost 9-0 and then that was it. They went on a run. We played them. They lost a week later. We played them. We beat them. Yeah. So there was a couple of games, you know what I mean? But then he started to get... But what he did was, he's got them, like you just said, playing a certain way. They all know the jobs. They're all competitive. It's what Leipzig were like under him. They weren't the best players, but they were competitive. And so when you've got a team that comes here in a good vein of form, which they are playing, knowing exactly how they play, doing their jobs, you go and break the game up. It's what we kind of did to Leicester for the last 25 when we couldn't get into the game.
To be fair, but I would say that's what we did second half.
We did second half, but we didn't first half.
But, you know, we go 1-0 behind, Spawny goal. I think it was Armstrong.
He acted brilliant.
Goes to have a shot and he But Ings, brilliant feet. And he's a player who is confident.
He's a nuisance.
He's like...
He's a nuisance, that's what he is.
No, he is. He makes very intelligent runs.
Yeah.
He
works hard.
He works hard. He drops into the number 10 position.
19 goals.
No, listen, I really like him.
No, I know you do.
I really like him. I think all this stuff where people are like, oh, he's this and he's that, he's got a terrible injury record. Players get over injuries. You leave them long enough to get over injuries. He's in great form. Confidence, takes the goal really well. And that's the way he done the little drag back on the
It was, but he did get fought and it got stuck under his foot, but he reacted brilliantly from it.
I thought it was brilliant what he did.
The finish was brilliant, a proper striker's goal.
And they take the lead, and then we're hanging on then, just like we're on the ropes, we're really on the ropes at that point. But luckily enough, just before half time, our goal, you watch our goal from the beginning.
Yeah, I've watched
our goal's great.
I watched it again.
It is that playing out from the back.
I had to leave it. I've seen the pass, but I had to leave, and then I've watched the proper.
You play it out from we play it from a goal kick. People say, why would you do that? But we play it out. We're confident. We get it into Gylfi.
Keane gives it to Dean.
We get into Gylfi. Gylfi gets it wide, and then it's on to Keane. It's a Dean. It's a great ball to Richarlison, who makes a great run. Dominic Calvert-Lewin makes a great run as well.
Splits them, doesn't he?
Taking cut, and that's the closest they've probably been. And Richarlison finishes it brilliantly. And it's a really, really good goal that for the manager would have looked at that going, that's exactly what I want. We've gone from goal kick to scoring in about 5 passes, and it's not long ball. It's intelligent football.
Incredible pass.
It's intelligent football.
Virgil van Dijk would have played that ball, they'd be talking about it for a year. But it was a great ball, brilliant first touch. At 0-0, Iwobi had a chance. Keeper made a good save. Could have done better, but he hit it well enough and forced the keeper. Then they took over for that half an hour, and then the goal come at a perfect time for us because they were winning, and we were like looking at each other as if what's going on here. And Richarlison's got, Lucas Digne, fantastic ball, and that's what Richarlison's got. He's got that ability because he hadn't particularly been in the game, but to have that first touch and finish, it's brilliant in front of goal. And you're just thinking, and right, let's go on. Can we kick on? We've got away with it there. We went in at half time. We got away with it. They could have been 2 or 3-0 up or 3-1 up at half time, and we got away with it.
But with Andre Gomez had already gone off, obviously, and Gylfi come onto the pitch.
It's saying something when Sigurdsson had a better game than Gomez, and Sigurdsson didn't really have a very good game either.
Gomez has been awful. He's been awful. He's been walking through games where.
It's weird, isn't it?
We need runners, and you look at them now and you think for the last 4 games you don't know what to do with them. You don't know whether to play him.
I wouldn't play him Sunday.
I wouldn't play him Sunday.
Not a chance.
But
then
he adds nothing to the. Well, you almost just say, well, Gylfi's got to play that role, hasn't he? Gylfi Sigurdsson's got to play that role, and then Tom.
Then
Davies
you've got to
plays.
have a runner with him, though.
No, I know. But
well, if Holgate's fit Sunday, if Holgate, well, mind you though, it's
the same circle of players, isn't it? So. No, he's been awful. He's been absolutely awful, and you look at it and you worry now about his long-term future and in terms of
being in
where he is, what he's where he is in his body and where he is in his mind, and he obviously went off. But second half, I think the manager at 1-1 probably thought, I'll take that, and let's just get some control. And second half, apart from obviously they had one early on, didn't they? Straight away from the kickoff. Adams, I think it was, wasn't it?
Say Adams, yeah.
Put one stung.
Nice little flick by Ings, actually.
Yeah, stung the palms of Pickford, and then we had the moment off a corner where it was like Keystone Cop defending. Couldn't get rid of it.
It's the most embarrassing. Honest to God, it was one of the most embarrassing pieces of play I've seen from Everton, and I've got a lot to choose from. To see that many players like running like 4-year-olds was that like a football camp when it's like under 5s and they all chased it, but it was they're professional footballers. It was embarrassing. Not one of them took control of it. It was pathetic, absolutely pathetic. I mean, we'd made the change we got in at half time. Iwobi went off again, apparently his hamstring. So,
Cheese
again,
thing.
leave him for a couple of weeks and then see what can happen in the summer. See if there's any bites from Palace or something. But, no, but you know what, mate? Alex Iwobi is a good footballer. Whether people have got agendas against him, and that's fine. I think he's a good footballer, but he's not a good footballer in a team where he doesn't know where he's playing. And if we're not going to play where he can be where he can beat Gylfi the year before, which is basically he can cheat his way through games and come up with a goal or an assist or whatever, then there's no point in being here. We paid £28 million for him, rising to whatever it is, 38 or something if we won all. I don't think we have to worry about what it's rising to, by the way, at the minute. So therefore, I'm sorry, but it is going to be a case of see what we can get back for these players, because we need people who are going to affect things. He's been here all season. He's not affecting anything, another injury. So leave him for a couple of weeks, put him on the side, give the oranges out or something at the moment because he's not contributing, or change the system. I don't know why you would if this is how we want to go forward, but if you're trying to just get through games, change the system. But he went off for half time. Sidibe come on. We went to 3 at the back, with Coleman being the third. Centre back, and was actually all right in that position, Seamus, because he's got two lads who like to
I think 3-5-2 could be the future of.
For now. It could be.
I think it could be the future.
You're right, because
I think it could be the future. I think
it's your wide players, isn't it?
If Carlo Ancelotti can't get the players in he wants, he's gonna have to be pragmatic about it. And I think think about it is though, it's a 3-5-2 that can become a 4-4-2.
Oh, of course.
So but I still think he wants 2 up front, and that's his main thing.
You've got to have it, mate. In this day and age, unless you've got a front
he wants
three.
2 up front. So I think he could play 3-5-2. I think we've got three at the back who could play that. If we were to bring, if we were to bring Gabriel in, we've tried. So who knows if we still want to. But if we were to bring him in, and suddenly you had 4. And one of them is
Holgate's got midfield, mate.
No, but let's just pretend he's a centre back because he is a centre back. But if you've got Mason Holgate, someone like Gabriel's fully left-sided with pace, and then you've got the choice of Keane or Mina as your stopper, then that's not a bad 3. And there's pace, there's intelligence, and there's stopping ability in there. And then you've got Dean.
Dean's perfect.
Perfect. Yeah. And then on the other side, if you could. John Joe Kenny wouldn't be a bad wing back for now, but it's not ideal. No, but I just think it all depends on who we can get in midfield. I just think we look a lot better when we either outnumber the people in midfield or we've got at least the same amount of people in midfield. Because at the moment, when we put 2 against 3, and you'll see who our 2 is, we've got no chance.
No, you're right.
We've got no chance.
But
so
then. What if he doesn't want to do that, what he then has to do is make sure they're anchored then. And ours aren't. I wanted to do a still for the screen. I should have done it really. Just of where Southampton's goal comes from, and you look at the starting positions of our midfielders. And Che Adams and Armstrong are behind. They're behind our 2 centre midfielders. So when that ball breaks, Gordon goes in for a tackle, it gets knocked forward, and Armstrong breaks. Gomez and Davis are here. And they're beyond them, running at our goal. So Ings runs off Michael Keane. Thingy's got Che Adams. Mina's got Che Adams, so that's okay. Ings runs off Michael Keane. Armstrong mishits it. But our midfielders are running back.
Yeah, because that's been the case all season, though. There's a massive gap between our defence. It mightn't look massive, but there's a massive gap between our midfield and our defenders. Because all our midfielders always seem to stay in the same place.
But they're one-paced.
That's what I'm saying. They all seem to stay. So that's why. Because they can't. They're terrified to go forward and they're terrified to go back. That's been the problem all season. All you ever see is our midfielders trying to chase the opposition. That's all you ever see. There's not like last season with Ghana, and he, that great word, anchor. He just sat in front of the back 4, and he was like 2 players. And the other 2 players, Gomez was sat a little bit in front of him, and he dictated, and Sigurdsson sat in front of him, and then Sigurdsson was just basically playing a free role, because he could, because of Ghana. Yeah. And that's where he got all, his goals from. Whereas now no one knows, feels like no one quite understands what the responsibility is.
So that's what I'm saying. If he's going to stay 4-4-2 because that's what he wants, yeah, and we know it goes to a 3-4-3 at times and Coleman tucks in, then what he has to do is play 2 wingers who are going to go and play high with your 2 strikers, and then your 2 midfielders can sit, so you're not getting outnumbered. So when Lucas Digne does go and join in, you've still got 5 men basically at the back. You should, in the Premier League, you should be able to get away with 3 men at the back. The best teams have 3 because the rest of them are trying to score goals, right? So if you then leave 4 men, that still should be ample to cover, right?
You should.
But we don't.
You should be able to, in a modern Premier League team, should be able to move forward with 2 centre-backs and a holding midfielder in a triangle.
Everybody else
and everyone else goes up. Your full-backs are pushing high.
Yeah.
Your wide men are coming inside, tuck in.
Getting in the box.
And getting in the box. Yeah. And that's what, and yet...
You watch the top teams, they have 6 men in the box or around the box. Everton have 2, if we're lucky.
And the irony is, because I know he was there last night, but when Martinez's first season, that's what we did. That's what we did. We had 2 centre-backs, and it was either James McCarthy or Gareth Barry. Always as a little triangle, and they mopped up everything. They mopped up everything. And that's what we don't seem to have. Well, we don't have it because we don't have players who understand.
But if you're Carlo now, that's certainly what I'd be doing. I'd be going with a front 4 almost, and saying to whoever 2 it is, sit in and protect. Because then, if you're going with a front 4, right? And what I mean is, one of them's Anthony Gordon, who works up and down anyway. And if you had Richie on the right, Richie will work up and down anyway. So you're still getting the cover. It's just that at the moment, we've got people like Bernard. Anyone who watches this knows I really like Bernard. I think he's a cracking little player, but he doesn't perform away and he's not consistent. So no consistency now. The time has come to go. If you're not consistent.
Problem is though, is that you factor in Richarlison as a wide player.
Oh, Walcott then. Walcott's available.
Moise Keane offers very, very little. He's offered very, very
little.
No,
but we've got 4 games, right?
I know.
So we need to look at him. If he's not going to do it, then you look in the summer. Because the time's come, I think, where, especially this summer, we're not going to be able to spend tons of money unless we say, and the club wouldn't do it, but unless we just forget about FFP, we'll take a 12-month ban from Europe because we don't get in it anyway. So we'll take a 12-month ban and buy what we need, right? That's fine if you were going to do that. Leave Moise Keane, he's a striker, let him grow next season. But we might be at the stage where we look at the summer and go, right, we need to bring 3 players in and we need players who are going to make a difference right now. What are our saleable assets, or who can we swap, or whatever? And we might look at Roma, who we know like Moise Keane, and go, well, we need a right winger who can attack, and they want Chenzel under or Justin Kluivert out, so we go, right, we'll take them and you take Keane. But we don't know if he's going to be able to get used to the game. Have a look at him. If he's not, then how are we going to know in the summer?
Well, he should know though, shouldn't he? They should know. That's their job.
Well, maybe they do know, that's why he's not playing. Maybe they think he's not good enough and that's why he's not playing.
Their job to know. Second half, as I said, we got a little bit more control. Dominic Calvert-Lewin had a great chance. Great ball by Tom Davis. Just curled over the top.
You think he could have gone with his head, don't you?
Know what I'm thinking? Robin van Persie. I'm thinking, that way that ball, you know what it was? The goalie. The goalie come out. And I'm thinking, just jump up and head it over the top of him. And I honestly think he could have done that. But
you think he got caught in 2 minds? Because the ball, he seems to go at it with his... the ball eventually hits him here and he's fallen. Where if you're a centre forward that's coming, you stay in line with the ball and it's a cushioned finish. But he doesn't. He's almost ahead of the ball.
I don't know what he knows, what he's thinking. That was a great chance. And
it's a lovely ball as well.
It was.
It was Tom Davis, wasn't it?
It was a good ball by Tom. It was a great ball. Apart from that, we had obviously the Richarlison chance where he basically broke through on his own. Was cut down outside the box. And we were watching it and we were just completely stunned at how, if it's a foul on the edge of the box and it's the last man, how it isn't a red card. I mean, it's just, I don't understand it. And I don't understand why. I know you
said, and it's right, they did change that route, because that was just an automatic red, wasn't it? Even if you were by the corner, wasn't it? It was not, and they changed it, rightly so, because if you're by the corner, but he was in the centre of the goal. And he's a quick lad, and okay. Bednarek got a bit on the ball, but he took him out. So
foul, isn't it?
It's the same when you slide in. James Ward-Prowse done one last night. He slid in with his studs up, and I said, you got the ball, but it's the way he went in, and that was a free kick. So it's the same thing. If you slide in, you know, Jack's got a bit of the ball at Wolves last season, started last season, was red carded. That was the same, it was from behind. He was in on goal. He might have been a bit wide, but it's Richarlison.
If it's a foul, it's a red card.
Yeah.
If he's got a little bit of on the ball, then it's not a foul, is it?
No, well, it is if he takes the man as well.
No,
that
what
rule's changed.
What I mean is, it can only be a foul and a red card. There can't be anything else.
No.
Because he's took him out, and he.
It was a scandalous decision.
We'd
had the Anthony Gordon one. We had that. I said before, Lee Mason, there's always an agenda with him when Everton play. Always. He's never ever be. I seen him years ago. I've said this bit on this show before, but I seen him. I remember I think it was 2010. Not that I'm bitter about him. It was 2010, and we played Wolves at home. First home game of the season. Kevin Doyle scored, and Billy Letanov equalised in injury time. He drew 1-1, and they came and they kicked us off the park. Absolutely mullered us all day long. Terrible challenges, left, right, and centre, and he let them, instead of jumping on them early doors and going, can't do that, he let them get away with murder, and it ended up being 1-1, and we battered them, we just couldn't. They just bullied us at times. And ever since, he's never got any better. He's a horrendous referee.
I know.
And you're right, it should have been a red card. Whether it had benefited Everton or not, I don't know. Maybe just because we might have been able to get near them a little bit more. I don't know, but it was a shocking decision.
Well,
but,
you know, while we're talking about this, Teddy Sass, one of our patrons at patreon.com, Toffee TVFC, said, "Hello, lads.
Hello, Ted.
Don't you think it's about time some of these prominent pundits start questioning the quality of refereeing in the league? The problem is the same circle of pundits have affiliations to the clubs who get the decisions. The standard for this league is horrendous, and it's like we just accept it because it's the same circle of horrific referees. Mason was atrocious yesterday. Then I watched the penalty for United last night and was shaking my head in disbelief for about an hour. Fernandes nearly snapped the other lad's leg, gets a penalty in VAR, turned a blind eye at a crucial point in the game. Why aren't they getting seriously questioned by the same authorities?
Have you seen the still that Villa have put out of Fernandes?
Yeah, it's horrendous.
It's a leg-breaking tackle.
We were watching it in here, and we left it on for the after, and we turned it off after about 10 minutes, and he still had not spoke about the Richarlison thing. And I watched Match of the Day last night, and they didn't say anything about it, right? Now, they did make a big deal of the penalty, and it was Dion Dublin and Tim Cahill, and they did kick off about that. They kicked off about the Man United one, and they kicked off about the Tottenham one.
Did they say anything about Anthony Gordon?
No, they didn't show Anthony Gordon. So, but I've said this before, though. I've said this before. It comes down to that. It comes down to the point of go back to when Niasse got done. Why did he get done? Because Danny Murphy took it upon himself to make a big thing about it on Match of the Day. And then the next... And do you know what? If he hadn't that night, because something else had happened, don't think any of the big teams were playing.
No.
So it was like a big game. We were struggling. We had no manager. It was, and they made a big thing of it. And it wouldn't have happened. And that's the problem, is that they're not looked at properly. They're not looked at during the game properly, but they're not looked at after the game properly. It's selective viewing again. It's selective. It's like, we'll make a big deal out of this. Why? I said to you last night, first thing I said to you last night was, if that had been Salah going through, and I'm not saying this because it's like Liverpool, if it had been Salah or Aguero gone through and that had happened,
Rashford,
it'd be all over the place. They'd be talking about it all over the place.
Yeah.
But because it's Richarlison, then first thing you hear from their manager is, he goes down too easy. So you've changed the narrative then. You've changed the narrative. You're not talking about the fact that it should have been a red card. You're talking about, does Richarlison go down too easy? Well, the point that he gets kicked off the pitch, left, right and centre. But you've changed, and that's part of the problem, is that the coverage is... What was the one the other day? There was one the other day. And the pundits were just like, it was the Sheffield United one. The Sheffield United goal against Villa. The way they just laughed it off. Oh, it's terrible, isn't it? Sheffield United don't win a game for 3 games.
Could cost them
Europe. And it could have cost them Europe. They've bounced back well. But it's like, oh God, the goal line technology wasn't working, and it's like, hang on, if that had happened to Liverpool or Manchester City or Manchester United,
being murder, yeah.
you'd want an investigation. You'd want an investigation to what's gone on, and this is the problem. The problem is that they don't look at every incident. Like match of the day last night or anything should be like, why hasn't he give that? What should be getting broke down forensically?
In a game where not that much happened really, that was a massive talking point. So was the Gordon one.
Yeah.
The Gordon one, they should have looked at, because they should have gone, hang on, Lee Mason's give this and we've just said it isn't a penalty. What about this one? Now, if they look at it and go, nah, it's not a pen for me because of whatever, fair enough, they've looked at it and said the reason. It was a penalty, no question about it. But if Cahill would have looked at it and gone, or Dublin and gone, well, look at the ball or look at this, you'd go, all right, well, in their opinion, they're agreeing with the referee. The fact it's not even brought up is like, shh, don't say nothing about it. And the same at Richarlison.
But know what that comes down to, though? A lot of that is like, and I understand this, you know, they only get so much time. No. They only get so much time, right? But for me, what they should be doing is flagging everything. They should be after I think when there's TV now or whatever, I think they should go, even if they don't show it in the match, like the highlights, if they don't, they should go. And at the other end, we had this one. What do you think about this one? Because this one wasn't given.
And then 30 seconds, yes or no, it's done. And
then they can go, now in a game of football, blah, blah, blah. But it's problem is that, that's what I'm saying, problem is that too much is swept under the carpet because they decide they don't want to, oh, something else happened. It's like, yeah, but you're letting these people get away with it again and again and again.
It's being able, because you've got an affiliation to a football club like Liverpool or United and you're on there, it's being able to set the narrative because the producers support that team as well. Like Danny Murphy that time with Nias, he just set that himself. And because we know the producer of Match of the Days are Red, Lineker's confirmed it and all that, they can basically do whatever they want. Never go. To be honest, if I was a pundit on Match of the Day, I'd be slating Liverpool all the time and highlighting things that they get away with. Because because they do it. But it's all about retaliation.
I just wish they need to, certainly for stuff like that, I think they need to change the style and come up with something like they do a ref watch or something.
They're not good enough, mate.
But that's not the point.
No, the programme isn't good enough.
The point is, that's what they need to start doing, all of these channels, is start going through the incidents, because
you see, when there was
letting them get away with stuff.
When it was just referees, right, you could always argue away. Like Lee Mason could have argued away that penalty yesterday with Ward-Prowse, right? Because he could have said, from where I was stood, it looked like Gomez took him down, right? And I couldn't argue with him. I could say, you're wrong. And he'd go, oh, I'll have to see it again. It looked right. And people would always go, well, that's human error. They have to see something that's gone.
Yeah.
And this is the reason why I wanted VAR in the first place, because I thought it'd take away that, oh, I'm going to give Liverpool a penalty here if I can because of whatever. Because you know what? Someone will look at it up there and they'll highlight it. But it hasn't. No. It hasn't taken it away at all.
Because
all they've done is gone, oh, Ped's my mate, so I'm not going to give it the decision.
They need an independent body doing the VAR.
That's great. But yeah, in the second half, like you say, they had the Che Adams one. I think Armstrong or Ward-Prowse smashed one over the bar from it, and they had a free kick with it, Sigurdsson. But other than that, they didn't really.
That was like last week.
It was the same. We got stem the tide.
Tactically, we got it right, but unfortunately, the other side of that is it. Not that we would have many anyway, but it does almost like eliminate our chances, doesn't it? It sort of is like we'll put. You know, we did it last week where it's like now we're playing on the counter attack and we'll have to just feed off bits. And Don wasn't having a good game, and those two again.
Were you surprised to see him go off or not?
No, he's played a lot of football. And listen, surely footballers are entitled to have the odd bad game.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, he hasn't been. I've heard criticism, and I just think it winds me up because the lad's run himself into the ground, and you know he's not getting chances.
Because he hasn't scored, people are.
He's not getting chances. Him and Richarlison are not close together. But then there's no one in midfield driving through to help. You know, the goal we scored is Don makes a really good run, and okay, there has to be more of that. But he's a young lad. He's going to have moments. He's far from the finished article. He is, for me, I don't think, look, what always happens? This always happens, right? So Greenwood scoring goals for United, so that makes Dominic Calvert-Lewin crap. Because he's younger.
Totally different players.
He's younger, but he's scoring, so that makes Dominic Calvert-Lewin crap. Greenwood's a natural goal scorer, you can see that.
Yeah, but he's also someone who can travel with the ball.
No, but he is a natural goal scorer, I personally think. And I think everything Dom's done is through working hard and learning the position. And he's still learning the position, and he's getting better, and he'll have ins and outs and stuff, and he'll be probably will be one of those players who goes on runs of scoring goals.
He's a for want of a better word, he's a target man.
Exactly.
Isn't he? That's what he is. And a target man, when you play in a two, one has to take the knocks and get the flick-ons, and the other one's the one who benefits. Now, ideally, you want them both. Dom's our top goal scorer, by the way, and he's come back and he hasn't scored for about 7 games now, but he did score the winner. 6 games. He did score the winner against Manchester United. He had 2 in that game. Don't forget. Yeah. It was chalked off. Now, okay, since the restart, he missed one against Liverpool, which I think he should have scored. And he should have done better with the header against Norwich. But other than that, we've given him nothing, really. We've given him it's not like we're making... if we were making 5 chances a game and he was fluffing them, I'd be with people who were going, he's not good enough. I'd be like, he's not clinical. I've been critical of him in the past for not being clinical enough. But at this moment in this spell, I can't say that because he's not missing chances.
I think all the goals he scored were all 6-yard box goals. The ball's not going in the 6-yard box. No. It's not going in the 18-yard box half the time.
We're not playing anywhere near the way we were playing before lockdown. No. Are we? No. If you go back to
Man United game,
United, Watford away, games like that, Palace at home, we were having 15, 20 chances in a game. Now we're having half a dozen or whatever. They're just not at it.
Let's just have a look at the
one of
the
things.
Possession 39%, shots 11, shots on target 4 each, corners 3 to 5, fouls 13 for us 14. So apart from the possession, they have 5 more shots, but not really. They sail over the bar. It's not really. But the possession. They kept the ball a lot better. Certainly in the first half.
One stat. Keep talking.
They had the ball a lot better in that first half.
Yeah, definitely. But we could see that, couldn't we? You could see a team who were confident, who were knocking the ball around. When you've got no energy or pace in the middle of the park and a team is playing around you, you can't get near them. So if you can't get... What happened was... And I don't know, we didn't watch the first half together, but if you noticed the first 10 minutes, Everton were pressing really well. The both, in fact, in commentary, they were talking, saying it's a really even start. The both teams are pressing really well. Shearer was saying, loads of... We went deep pressing, yeah. There was loads of energy for the opening 10 minutes, and I thought, we look like we're sharper here than we were the other night. But then what happens is, as their passing gets... quicker, they started being crisper with the passing. We started moving back because we weren't winning any battles. And every time Gomez and Davis got it, there was players around them, and they were again doing that thing of, I've got loads of time here. What happens is you start then naturally.
I think a lot of it comes down ultimately to confidence as well. You look at Southampton, and I said this before, you get into a rhythm of playing, you get the same set of players, you know what you want to do, and you benefit from that, and you're winning games and you're scoring goals. Our team's not made like that. We can't counter-attack because we don't have the players in midfield. They do, and they've benefit from that. But I think it's testament, though, that we're still above Southampton in the table, even, And I think once we get through the next 4 games and we start looking at next season, and we can bring a couple of players in, which is the key thing. I think things will change.
I was just looking at the XG.
Go on.
So the XG was, Everton was 0.67, Southampton was 2.38. So they should have won the game by 2 goals. And that's based on the quality of chances. That's what we were talking about early on. We know what our deficiencies are. And you said before, and it's right, the laid bare, without the crowd. I mean, Can you imagine us playing like this with a crowd? Players would be destroyed. But without a crowd to give them that kick up the backside, this is something we talked about before it even started, was we'll see who can naturally lift themselves without needing the crowd. And we might see better performances from some players who maybe the crowd hinder at times. In general, Michael Keane's been a really solid performer. And, you know, whereas with the crowd sometimes getting us back, Jordan Pickford's been better for whatever reason. He has been better. But then players who I thought would be much better would be Tom Davies, and that's proven that no, he's just not at that level. Other players have dipped who maybe need the crowd to give them that extra edge, but then, you know, the one bright spark, and I know we're going to look now, one of them is obviously
Richarlison.
Richarlison.
Let's have a little look at him. 37 touches, goals, 1 shot, 2, 1 on target. Successful passes 8, chances created 1, pass accuracy 67, recoveries 4. Fouls suffered 4. I thought it was actually more than that, but successful dribbles 2, clearances 2, successful tackles 1. So he is always a threat, isn't he? He's always a threat. He's clearly our best player. He can make something out of nothing. That's the difference between him and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and him and most of the other players in the team, if not all the players in the team. He can create something out of nothing. You know, the run, the touch, the finish, perfect. And he's the difference maker, isn't he? He is our edge. He is that player that, you know, will run through brick walls for you, will get kicked off all over the park, no matter what anyone says. And again, luckily we've got him, and he you know, keeps showing everyone how good a footballer he is.
Oh, I mean, Ancelotti said, didn't he? He's ice cold in front of goal, and that's kind of what he is. He's a great finisher, isn't he? And, you know, I guess 12 goals now for him in the Premier League this season, 13 for Dom. So between the two of them, you've got 25 Premier League goals. And okay, you'd love one of them to get that amount, and the other one weighing with 15. But they've done well considering we're not creating a lot of chances. And I think when you look at, I know Alan Shearer said something at the end of the game with like the priority is a centre forward, and that to me, I on one hand I understand what he's talking about, but on the other hand, to me, it's the middle of the park.
I think
it's like just a black hole.
I think what he said was if Everton want to go up to the next level, they need to get someone in who can score 20 goals a season. And I fully understand what he means by that. You know, I can understand
who you
that.
can count on.
He's saying, you know, if you want to go up to the next level, but that's like simplistic. Of course, every team we've got a 20 goals, unless it's Lukaku, will move up a level.
But he probably kept us where we were.
No, I know. They'll move up. That will move you up a level. But he probably doesn't watch us week in, week out and forensically take to bits like we do. So the easiest thing in the world is to say he's striker. And I know people go, oh, that's the last position. It's not the last position. No such thing as last position. We're 11th in the league. There's no such thing as last position. You need if someone, with just been saying, if you've got a Dominic Calvert-Lewin and he's not in great form, you want someone to come off the bench for you or whatever. That's what other teams have got. That's what other teams.
Well, that's what we hoped Moise Keane would be, didn't we?
And
it hasn't.
And that's where you've got. That's where suddenly Man United are flying, because suddenly you've got where before you had Rashford and Martial, and if they dipped, you wouldn't have anything else.
And they do dip.
Now you've got another young kid, and that young kid will dip. And when he dips, you'll have, you know.
But that's
Liverpool have 3, City have 3 or 4.
That's football, isn't
exactly.
it? Exactly. You've got to build to that level and hope someone comes through. If you're looking at, you know, you can just do. My only real plus point in, apart from Anthony Gordon, who I thought was very good until he tired, and that's to be expected, isn't it? My real plus point last night on the 3 things was the fact that we've got Carlo Ancelotti and we've been able to take a point out of the game. The reason I'm saying with Ancelotti is he's playing with the cards he's been dealt. We've had nothing at the moment. We've had nothing in there. It's not like everyone's fit as well. I think Gabaman makes a difference to that midfield because A, he's a unit, and B, before his injury, he was someone who could get it. He was quick. He could get up and down, travel with the ball from one end to the other. He was powerful. Delph does, like you said earlier on in this show, Delph doesn't really change it. He's just another one who sits in and just plays it right and left. He's not going to come in and be dynamic. So if you look, I mean, Ancelotti, Ferguson took over, we were 17th or 18th. Ancelotti come in. but 7th overall in all the games now, with obviously taking last night's game into account. I think we're in the top 7 for points gained. So that's not bad considering he's had nobody else to choose from. Before lockdown, we were 12th, but 11th. You know, everything's pretty much where it is. And we can sit here and bemoan it. And, you know, the other thing as well, I think is really important, is sometimes it's easy to say everything's crap, burn it all down. When 2 or 3 different components change what you've got. And I think 2 or 3 players changes this Everton side. And I'm not saying it changes this Everton side and we'll be in the top 2, because quite clearly we won't be. But it changes this Everton side into a team that can quite easily qualify for the Europa League, or certainly be properly in the mix. We were in the mix. Some might say even now, if we won 4 games. I don't see it, don't get me wrong. I can't see us winning 4 games.
We're not.
But, and we can sit here and go, well, it's out of it now. But even when we come back from lockdown, right, Everton have been in the mix for the Europa League place. Right, hang on, let me just finish. With this set of players, and starting essentially from 3rd in bottom in December.
No.
Right, so when people go, we are miles behind getting into Europe, that's utter nonsense. But by the same token, I fully accept and I agree with everybody who says this midfield is horrific, because it's a point I've been banging on about for months. It is dreadful.
If the 3 players were...
Messi, Suarez...
No. If the 3 players were 2 centre midfielders and a winger, then yeah, I agree. Because I think the defence is solid enough. I think the organisation is good enough, and I think the front 2 will score goals if they're given chances.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think if it was those 3 positions, and they were good players, then I agree with you. That would take us up to challenging, and then you're open to get another.
You're open to improve and then build. Yeah. The other thing, let me just quickly before we thingy, if there's any comments. 13 goals, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. 12 goals, Richarlison. 3 goals, Bernard. And there's the drop-off.
Oh, yeah.
Yerry Mina, 2 goals.
We know.
That's the drop-off. Yeah. You've got Andre Gomez, no goals. Tom Davis has got 2, hasn't he? Walcott, 1. Bernard, 3. Iwobi, 1 league goal. 2 if you include the cup. Who else has played in midfield? You know, Gylfi Sigurdsson, 1 goal.
2 Premier League goals.
Well, 2 with the penalty last week, didn't he? 2 Premier League goals. Through 6 players, we've got
horrendous.
2, 3, we've got about 8 goals.
It's horrendous.
You know,
absolutely horrendous.
And if you look, Liverpool have had 17 different goal scorers this season. Everton have had 11, unbelievably. I don't know where that's come from. It's single goals, but if you look at players, you know, who are at teams that like Southampton, Ward-Prowse has got about 8. It's a lad who you'd look at and go, wouldn't have him in arm. Well, I would at the moment, but I mean, in general, he's not someone you'd go and go, love us to get him, is he? And you look at those teams around you, you know, West Ham have got that shoot chef fella popping up with goals. Now,
let's not go over the top.
No, I'm not going overboard, but you know what I mean? And just that, with Everton, we've got the 2 main goal threats, and we're not creating for them. If we could get a right winger in, who could get 7 or 8, you know, and then a Gordon could add and think you can add goals, but it's not difficult to see when you look at Everton where the issues are. The midfield isn't, A, it isn't competitive enough, and B, it isn't, and I know, listen, there's no question about it, definitely going to be doing a programme on Marcel Brands and our recruitment about when you're buying a player, what you look for, because I think it needs to be done. And probably do it going back to 2016, because I'd sent you some stuff last night and couldn't sleep properly last night with the money we've spent. I haven't watched that midfield, but that's the issues laid bare, isn't it?
Let's just finish off with some comments on our page.
Sorry for the rant.
Normally it's me. Yeah, some of our patrons, patreon.com, Toffee TV EFC. David Hamilton says, still peed off over yesterday with that performance, and Lee Mason.
It's right, Dave.
Adam Milford says, for me, in terms of effort and movement, we have hands down the worst midfield in the league. Fans fuming on social media that we don't beat teams like Southampton. With our midfield, it's a miracle we even score, let alone win. Also, as much as I get no pleasure from our bad performance, the watch-alongs make for very funny viewing. Yeah.
Glad you enjoy it.
David Hamilton continues. Anthony Gordon has the energy and the drive, but the rest of the non-existence of the midfield is a worry. Carlo Ancelotti will see what we can and will have an idea who to bring in. At the moment, I'm thinking there'll be big movement with ins and outs, but midfield is the main concern to a vast majority of Evertonians. I'll let you lot have your say on the ref. Far too much to type if I did.
I seen your comments last night. Dave, there's about 30 lines on them last night.
And Keith Powell, just on the refereeing, says there was some serious bad refereeing yesterday and at least 3 terrible VAR decisions. God knows what they were. Looking at, you're right about Fernandes and his twirl before falling on the lad's leg could have been a lot worse. Obviously responding to what happened in the Villa game. And Graham Price says, why don't we hear more on Delph's injury? I type, where's he at on the timescale for recovery? Or is there more to it and we're looking to ship him out? No, I just don't think clubs need to tell fans about injuries now. I just don't think they care. It started with Moyes, didn't it? He'd go, I don't know where he is, and then the next game he'd just turn up.
Delph is training on his own, that's all Ancelotti said.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll see Delph this for the rest of the games, to be honest. I don't know whether there's any desire from him to be back to play. I don't know. I don't know the fella, so I can't say that.
I think Delph,
it's just if he's got an injury.
I think Delph, just finishing off very quickly,
go on.
would really help Aston Villa get back to the Premier League.
Yeah, without a shadow.
And they can
He'd be a good captain for them.
give us Jack Grealish a part of the deal.
I mean, we'd have to pretend that Delph was amazing this season for them to even consider it. But
Club legend, isn't he?
I think.
Hang on, don't he hate him?
No, I think he like. Well,
Didn't he say he wasn't going to Man City and then did go to Man City?
Yeah, but I think if he went back, they'd forgive him because I think he'd look great. I think Leeds might take him. Be a good
Leeds,
Leeds are
great player for Leeds.
I think he'd be Leeds captain.
Great player.
I think
for Leeds.
he'd do right good things for Leeds.
Right good things.
Yeah, I think give him to Leeds. Be a match made in heaven. I'll drive him if he doesn't want to drive.
But you know he'd have a boss game against us.
Well, you know what? I think I'd even take that for him to have a great game if he had the Leeds kit on.
Okay, there you go.
Just because he's not been available all season.
This has been the final word.
It has.
Everton 1, Southampton 1. Galore. I just can't wait for the Wolves game. I am pumped.
I seen you then. You know what? I was sitting there and I thought, look how excited he is.
On a Sunday,
because we've got to do the preview and you made
for a Sunday. 12. It just sets you up for the rest of the day, doesn't it? It sets you up.
The way I look at it, though,
yeah.
The way I look at it is, it's out the way.
Yeah.
Right, so by 2:30, when you've had a rant and rave about how bad our midfield is, you can start moving on with your life. Then you can start thinking, it's only 4 days till Jack Grealish tears us apart. Like Bernard.
Yeah.
We'll be all right.
There you go.
We'll win at Wolves.
There you go. 4 games left.
It is.
4 games left of the suffering.
The suffering, if you just said. Do you know the other way to look at it? We've played 5 games since we've returned. We only lost once with an own goal.
Yeah.
So.
Listen, Carlo knows how to shut the door.
He certainly does.
The only problem is the players are the ones who open it. So there you go. Thank you for joining us for the final word. If you've been watching live on Patreon, nice one for watching on your dinner break.
Yeah.
And getting in touch with us and commenting. And if you want to join us for the final word when we do it live or any of the other shows that we do live and get involved in them, then it's patreon.com/Toffee TV EFC. The link is in the description. Get over there, join the community, it's brilliant.
Do it now.
You get discounts on all the merchandise, you get to join the Discord forum as well. There's a great little community, do lives every day. It's boss, get involved. There you go. Give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, see you all later.